right, let's talk about that song Josie. It's one of the ones that impressed me most when I first heard them. Scott Henderson always liked this band because they're like a jazz band. He said they're, in his mind, they were as much a jazz band as they were a rock band. And they do a lot of really creative stuff, which I think of actually kind of being in the rock thing. They do strange kind of outside the box stuff in that way, while doing really intelligent stuff that you wouldn't hear in a lot of just basic rock. And somehow managed to make hits even, which was really hard to imagine. I guess it was partly the times, but anyway, so I'll just walk you through these parts. I think you'll find it really easy because you're an advanced player already anyway. So let's start off with that opening riff. It's like it starts on the 2nd fret of the D string. Cool. And then middle finger on this 3rd fret of the B string. Like that. Cool. And you can let them ring out together. Alright. I can't hear your guitar, so it must not be plugged in. So please stop me if at any point if you need me to repeat something or to clarify. But I'll just run on the assumption that you're picking things up too easily. So that'll be the first 2 notes. Then the next 2 are going to be at the same time. It's going to be the 4th fret of the D string and the 2nd fret of the B string. So we have a bit of a counterpoint. I mean, like a contrary motion, I mean. Cool. After that, it's just a power chord on the 1st fret of the D string. And then that goes up a fret. So the first half of this, I don't know, really it's the first quarter of the intro. It's like that. You're familiar with this tune, right? All right, cool. Surprised you've never learned this one before? All right, well, now you have. Now you will. You're in for it. So there's that. Have you got that down? All right, cool. The next part starts exactly the same. But instead of going up a fret, here, I mean, it does go up a fret, but it also goes down a string, meaning your A string, 2nd fret power chord. Cool? Like that. And then after that power chord, you have an open D power chord. Right? So that's that little bit there. So then you combine them to get this. Cool. All right, next we have kind of like a single note line. You've got your middle finger on the D string, 2nd fret. That's the first note. And then the ring finger on the 2nd fret of the G string. Right? So it's like 1 note at a time. And this note walks down. So you can actually just roll your middle finger if you want. That's going to be the line. So if you want to use your ring finger like I just described, then you use your index finger, which is a little bit strange maybe. So you could just roll your middle finger if you want, whatever's more comfortable for you. So that's obviously just chromatic. Cool. And then the open B string. Cool, have you got that? Alright, and after that we're going to have this chord. Now, the easy way to describe the chord is think of your like old school F chord. Then don't bar that 1st fret of the E string, so that way you'll have a F major 7. This is a voicing that Holdsworth really despises for major 7 chords. So it starts off like that, then pick up your middle finger, so you're going to get the open G string. Okay? Now, the low note of this chord is an F. The bass player plays it. So you could play the open A if you want to. That's a beautiful chord. This is an F major 9. F major 9. It's got the major 7 and the open G string is the 9. Look at this. Man, I need a haircut. All right. I look like a bum. All right. Anyway. So now the intro. So that's actually kind of like the beginning of a new part, but not really new, but there's this part that goes into this chord section. But I figured it'd be a good place to stop for that. So the whole thing so far is this. So this is that F major 9, and I left out that A on that one. I kind of think it sounds nice to leave out the A because we just played the 4th fret of the D string followed by the open B. And if you keep those as like your kind of reference points, then your ring finger would go down 1 fret and the open B string goes up 1 fret. And that creates cool voice leading. And then, of course, you throw on that high note on top, which kind of is outside of that voice leading, but we want a major 7 in the chord. And anyway, that's why I kind of like making the F the low note here. Maybe if I were with a bass player, that A makes it sound way more rich because it's a major 3rd, so it's really nice to have. And now my bass player would play that, you know. Of course, you could just try to do all of it. Might sound a little bit too fat, you know, in the low end where you can't hear anything. So anyway, all right, so there's a few chords that happen. The first chord is that chord, so we already learned it. Next, we have a G flat 7 sharp 9. So I'm just playing, you know, you've done this shape a million times, I'm sure. Just a really jazzy shape for an altered chord. I've got the 2nd fret of the D string, 3rd fret of the G, 5th of the B and E. Cool. And our bass player would be playing the G flat, you know. So if you wanted, you could try to be tricky. Like that. Oops, man, it's very tricky. Yeah, because I'm trying to think of how to muffle that A string. Guess I could touch it lightly with the ring finger. Might be more trouble than it's worth. Or you can do hybrid picking. But you gotta sacrifice one of those notes. Anyway, I'm pretty sure what they do is this. Where they just let the bass player play that low note. The next chord is this. Alright, what this chord is actually the same as that F chord. F major 9. Except you move it all up 2 frets. And to move it, in order to bar, I change from ring finger to index finger, index and index finger to pinky and middle finger. That way, I can use my index finger to bar. So this is actually a G major 9, right? Because our root is going to be right here. Our index finger is on the 3rd of the chord. This, by the way, is the first chord I used in my song, on the first song on my first album. I didn't play the high E string though, so I just heard this. Those were the first couple chords in my first song. And anyway, I hadn't listened to them yet, so I hadn't been influenced by them at this point. But this chord, in my mind, I was kind of learning harmony back then, and I saw this as an E minor chord, you know, like an E minor 7 with a flat 6, you know, so I'm thinking like a Aeolian sound. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking like E Aeolian. And it was either, I think it was either Alex Makachek or Scott Henderson, one of the two of them. They pointed out, it's like, well, that's not going to sound like an E minor chord. It sounds like a C major chord, because it sounds like your low note is the 3rd, your pinky is the octave, right? And then you have a 9 and the 5th up here. So you have a 3rd, a root, and a 5th within there. It sounds like that's a major triad, you know. And so that's pretty striking. And then, of course, you have that major 7 on top. It's going to sound like a C major 7 chord. Anyway, and that's the same thing that's being used here. Here you have it as an F major 7 chord, major 9, but, and then here as a G. This is going to pop up a lot in this song. All right, so now we have the whole intro. It goes like this. Oh, we missed a chord. My bad. See, we have this chord. Then we'll have the whole intro. So the last chord is an A flat major 7. So the way to think about this shape is go ahead and do a regular A flat major triad. We flat the root of the high E string down, so we have that voicing that Alan Holdsworth hates. And then what we're going to do is we're going to want to add the 13, which is going to be the 6th fret of the B string. And so I have to change the fingering from this to this. So what I've got is my ring finger on the 6th fret of the D string, middle finger on the 5th fret of the G string, pinky on the 6th fret of the B string, and index finger on the 3rd fret of the high E. Cool? And there's a little syncopation to this too. It's like